How is everyone? Great to have you join us. For those I haven't met yet, my name is Dinesh De Silva. I am the founder and CEO of NetStripes. Now, I know a lot of you have attended our webinars before. However, if you are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. A lot of you are returning members of the FBAA. I know all of you are FBAA members because this is an exclusive webinar for the FBAA. However, for those who are returning, and a lot of you are NetStripes clients as well, a big welcome. Thank you for coming back because it's about continuous learning, continuous improvement. A lot of the stuff that we go through, we teach a system, but today we are teaching you, we're going to discuss Facebook and Instagram advertising, or meta advertising as we know it. It's a pretty complex system. And whatever we do, we got to stick to the fundamentals, and I'll be covering some of the fundamentals that people follow and some of the fundamentals that people really miss out. So let me get started. For those who haven't met me face to face, but we can still connect via LinkedIn, please go to the link. My colleague Jen, by the way, will share that link. Go to the link, and I'd love to put a name to a face to your name. What am I saying? By the way, I'm getting a lot of help. Whenever I run a webinar today, I have Jen. Jen is the conduit to everybody you need to contact at NetStripes, whether it's one of our subject matter experts for the meta advertising suite, or Google Ads subject matter experts, or any technical folk with regard to web or anything else, SEO. Talk to Jen. She'll be able to connect you with them. If you want to talk to me or any of our strategists, she'll help you with that too. We have subject matter experts for every aspect of digital marketing, email marketing, etc. So it's important you talk to the right folk. And Jen is the person who will be able to help you with that. This is what we are going to cover. Not just this, I'll be going to some other areas as well, but this is broadly what you will see. By the way, we've also done, we constantly create a lot of content, not just webinar content. Here's a really valuable Facebook, a blog on Facebook post versus Google Ads. A lot of people ask, sorry, what am I saying? Lots of people ask us, Dinesh, should I boost my post or should I advertise? And we've covered both of them. So go and have a read of it. And I didn't want to focus on that in this webinar. So this is why we've done the blog, so that you can read and understand that as well. It's an easy to read blog, and there'll be examples, etc. So go and have a read of it. Jen, again, will share the link for that. There are quite a few blogs on Google advertising. This is the last one. So have a read of that if you're interested in Google Ads. The webinar we did on Google Ads, if it's not already on our YouTube channel, it will get on to YouTube as well. So that'll be something worthwhile checking. Some of you may be new and may not know who NetStripes are, but very briefly, we position entrepreneurs just like yourself to make sure you reach your business and personal goals by building industry-leading businesses. But how do you build an industry-leading business? Because you got to position yourself with the right mix of strategy, high conversion websites, and the right online marketing. And that's essentially what NetStripes do. And we have helped hundreds of business owners with just that. And it's finally about catching that digital wave. As you know, those businesses who catch the digital wave, they don't make a living. A lot of them make a killing. So it's about catching the digital wave. Unfortunately, 89% of businesses in Australia are not catching the digital wave. And this is why we've created the NetStripe system, and it helps business owners from multiple industries to catch the digital wave. And it's an industry agnostic system that we have created. And our vision from the time we started was to empower 1 million business owners to really accelerate your business growth through digital and innovation. And our job is to make it as simple as possible. For us, thankfully, we have organizations like the FBAA and many others who share this vision from us, and we are very thankful to them. Most people who come to us who have been advertising tell us that their results suck. And they're spending lots of money on advertising and they're not getting the right result, or they are getting poor quality leads. And there's a reason for that. Whether we do it or whether anybody does that, okay, your advertising, if you're getting poor quality leads, there's a reason for that. And I'm going to run through why. Unfortunately, it causes frustration, and these are the reasons. So I'm going through 7 common mistakes. Firstly, our objectives, our campaign objectives are not clear. And because we are unsure about the specific campaign objectives, we try to achieve everything. And it's really important before we start anything to know where are we heading to, and how do we measure whether we are going in that right direction. So those are called KPIs, and we got to have the right measures in place to make sure once we set our campaign objective, that we are heading in the right direction. We'll cover more of this later. The other biggest issue, and even for us, when certain customers come to us, we can't give them results, because if you want immediate sales, I can tell you, you're not going to get it. Somebody told me, Dinesh, you're not sugarcoating it, are you? The reason is a lot of people don't know your brand, because a lot of small to mid-sized businesses, they have low brand awareness. And this is a huge marketplace. People know finance brands like Rams and Westpac and Aussie, and you take the mortgage brands, they'll know some of the mortgage brands, but they know the big banks, and they know the big mortgage houses, and there's a lot of competition with these big brands. So how does a smaller mortgage broker build your brand awareness? And there's a system to do that, and I'll cover that system as well. So there's also buying psychology that we need of customers, that we need to understand the buying behavior of them, and we need to take them through a funnel. So let me give you an example. If we put an ad for a loan, say, we're a great residential mortgage broker, come to us, we have really great loans, or I'll give you best rates. I don't think you can advertise that, but you might say, I'm Sydney's number 1, number 3 mortgage broker. This is how people advertise, right? And come to us, we'll get your loan approved faster, sharper, at the best rates, or whatever. People make all types of claims. Now, if you are trying to win discerning customers who do fairly larger loans, these guys are discerning because they have other options. They're not going to react to your instant post, because finance is a competitive market, and it's also about trust. Okay, so unless somebody is really desperate, they're not going to apply. But the desperate few are clutching at straws, and they don't qualify, but they will apply for everything they see. So a lot of the time, when you do this and you don't do it right, you'll get lots of leads really fast, but they'll be all crappy leads and you'll be wasting your time. Somebody told us, Dinesh, I did a campaign. We got hundreds of leads. I hired other brokers to manage these leads because I wanted, and we were spending a lot of money. And I lost a lot of money on the ads and on those brokers I hired because they called so many people, didn't get many leads. So you have to be careful of it, clear about your campaign objectives, and you have to be very clear about not to overemphasize immediate sales. It's about building trust, and it's about brand awareness. The other thing is, a lot of people get this wrong. Your ad creatives must be perfect. The ad designs, the copywriting has to inspire action, and everything has to be cohesive and to a strategy. Otherwise, it leads to poor conversions, poor engagement first, and then poor conversions, and you don't get the right results. So we don't want the desperate few who don't qualify for loans applying, because you're going to hit your head against the wall too many times and get frustrated. And that's why a lot of people come to us frustrated. We can't even promise. If you come to us tomorrow and say, Dinesh, or tell any of our team, can you run Meta ads? We can't give you success unless you're also patient. Okay, so we can have the best ad creatives, best ad copy, but we have to take a customer through this cycle. And this cycle starts with creating brand awareness. They need to first know who you are. They need to first know us. But as you know, there is a lot of noise on Facebook and Instagram, on any platform for that matter, on radio, if you want to say it. And the first time they see your ad, they don't even see it. Your ad's there, but they're not seeing it because they're just going past it. And this ad has to be shown about 15, 16, 17 times before it even registers. Okay, so that's how hard it is. So we got to really measure this through numbers and metrics. And it is only based on metrics and the data that we know that we can move from awareness to consideration. Now, if you're not looking at the data and you don't know which metrics to look at, you will never know when to move from awareness to consideration. And at awareness time, and as we're creating brand awareness, your ads are different to the ads we run at consideration, and then the ones that create conversion, which are the lead generation ads. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people go directly to conversion ads. And if you go directly to conversion ads, that's when you get that desperate few who are clutching at straws to do whatever it takes to get a loan, and most of them don't qualify because it's harder these days to get loans, as you know. The other important thing is in ad creation. People today, unlike before, are using smartphones, right? So they're looking at their phone and when they're on social media. And as they're scrolling through, if our ads are not really designed, perfectly designed, the ad designs and the ad copy as well to fit their phones and the smartphones and the smart devices, we are not going to get the right result. And unfortunately, still, people are making these mistakes. The other issue is there's complexity. And there's so much change, it's hard to keep up. And even with digital marketing businesses, a lot of them have generalists doing this stuff. They're doing Facebook, they do email marketing, they do web design, and they do. So this one person is trying to do everything, social media posting and Google ads. And that's a sure surefire way of not getting a result. So a lot of people are doing account management, and the same person who's managing your account is a face of that client. Of you're the client, of course. The account manager is the same person who's doing the Facebook ads. I think the world has changed so much. There's so much complexity on these platforms that you need subject matter experts, not journalists, doing this stuff. Now, you might beg to differ, people might beg to differ in what I say, but I can guarantee you it has got so complex. I will use an example. I'll go to Facebook now and show you something. By the way, so Facebook and these organizations like Facebook, Google Ads have made it so easy for us to create an ad, okay? By the way, I want to share with you one thing. So I'm here at NetStripes. Today, if I had, when I was here, I had somewhere here, the Meta Ads, Business Suite, etc. This afternoon, when I was trying to do it, I had to click here and the ads manager is here. That's a simple thing I'm talking about. When I go to the Meta Business Suite, which was again, this is the Meta Business Suite that's coming out, which was here earlier. Now it's here. So they keep changing it. Now, when on your screen, you might still find it here. So they're getting complex because of AI and stuff like that. So similarly, if I create an ad, so if I go here to create an ad, it's very easy to create an ad because they make it so easy for us to create an ad, okay? And so all you have to do is you go to campaigns, right? And you can go and create an ad. And I've created an ad here. I'll come back to that ad, but if you want to create a new ad, or you want to edit it, or these are all our other ads, you want to go and create an ad, a new campaign, it's super easy. Anybody can create an ad, okay? So what are they doing? So you can decide awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, depending on what you're creating, you can go and create an ad. But they will also take all your money. But for you to get a result, they made it's so complex, okay? So while everything has become so easy and anybody can do it, it is so complex and they keep changing because of AI and the way they are improving the platform, which is a good thing. It has become so complex and hard to get results. So let's go back. So this is where I feel if you are trying to do Facebook ads or Google ads, try not to do that. Leave it to somebody who is an expert who can help you. I'm not saying come to us, by the way, right? Go to somebody who is a subject matter expert. It'll help you. It'll save you a lot of time. The other really important thing we have to do is we got to monitor the ads. We got to make sure we optimize the ads based on the data. So let me give you an example. Successful, you can read what I've written there. So when we do ads, depending on where the campaign is, so just to give you an idea, I did this, right? So if it's an awareness ad, we will create multiple ad copies, okay? Multiple designs and multiple ad copies. That's the copyright I'm talking about. So you have multiple creatives, ad designs, and the copy, okay? And we will run them and we'll look at the data and we'll test and review to see which is working best. And then we'll pick the one that's working best and then we'll run it. And then we'll see whether we are running it to the right metrics and whether we are achieving the right metrics. Otherwise, we got to pick another one. So again, You got to know when to change it, when to move from one stage to another. And it's all about looking at the data. Now, one of the mistakes people do is, in our case, because we have subject matter experts, they are looking at this data daily. So they have the ability to review and improve if required on a daily basis. Now, if these are managed by generalists or a business owner who is really busy, that doesn't happen. And there lies why often people spend a lot of money, because if you're not careful, excuse me, let me drink some water. If we're not careful on these platforms, they'll take all our money really fast. Again, we spoke about metrics, and in these different stages, here are some simple metrics that we can follow. And the metrics will change, okay, depending on how much you're spending, how much and who you're targeting, the regions, etc. Okay. But if you're doing brand awareness, you're looking for reach and impressions. Now, we have a client who, this is not a finance customer, but we were working with them. They're a consumer products company. And we do their Google ads and we do their search engine optimization. And another company does their social media marketing, the posting, and the Facebook ads. And when we were having a joint meeting, because we love collaborating and working with these people, we realized that the ads they were doing were reaching like 1/10 the audience they need for brand awareness. And we didn't want to make them look bad, but we did ask them, are you reaching enough people? And the answer we got was not good enough. And unfortunately, we felt even the agency didn't know the right metrics that were required. And for a consumer products company, they needed to reach about 100,000 people in a given month, and they were reaching about 12,000. So these insights are not commonly known, and we need to know that. So similarly, if you're running a traffic ads, it's link clicks and landing page views, and we need to know whether we are getting that right number, because only when you get the right number, you can move from here to here and here to here. So you need to know exactly when can I move from here to here, and when can I move from here to there. So don't make this mistake. And even if you see the data, some people don't know what to do. Knowledge is a huge factor that is that delivers success. So expertise really is super valuable. We don't see in those who don't get results, there's no clear strategy. So if you are doing this stuff, you need to have a very clear goal. You need to understand your audience. You need to know your brand messaging really well. And of course, you need to have your measures right. So remember that. Now, something else that we have seen is when you're driving brand awareness ads, okay, you do brand awareness ads, and people may want to go and check your website to see whether you're legit, whether you are not dodgy. That's what they're trying to establish, whether you are what you say. And a lot of the time, the landing pages don't create trust. It doesn't have a clear message, and it doesn't show whether you know who you are serving or whether you're a generalist yourself. Unfortunately, most people fall into that category. And when a customer comes to your website, there are certain questions they're asking, okay? So what do you do is the first question. Who are you? What do you do? Why should I care? How do I believe you? And where do we begin? Where do we begin is the last question, but what do you do and who you are? If that is not established immediately with trust, they have left you in 2 to 4 seconds. If you have, they will then go deep and say, why should I care? And look for trust signals. And your website must deliver adequate trust signals. And there are about 3-4 ways of delivering trust signals, and every one of those 3 or 4 ways must be there. And that's about how do I believe you as well. And then you got to have your call to action and make it really easy for them to contact you. Okay. And to do this, you need to understand your customer's buying journey, their needs, their pain points, and be able to, when they come to your website, they need to be able to suddenly feel a lot of that empathy you have for them should get reflected and they get engaged. If you are general and it's like everybody else, you're like a vanilla solution and it doesn't work. And most websites, unfortunately, is that. Take them down a funnel. And by the way, go and check some of these websites. I did a Google search some time ago. I do this regularly. I go here, I did mortgage broker Blacktown, mortgage broker Sydney, mortgage broker Brisbane, Perth. I do mortgage broker Karratha, right? Because we have clients all over the place to see. And this doesn't cut it, lady. If your landing page looks like this, do not do advertising. Even if you have a pretty website, if it's not clear who you serve, do not waste your money doing advertising. So before you start advertising, get your landing page, nail your landing page. These are the things. And before you do a website, get your strategy right. Okay. These are basics, but people don't do it. Now, if you look at this website, it's very clear who they serve. And their value proposition comes through clearly. This image is about the right age group and the type of demographic they're trying to target. If you look at it, there is a multiracial demographic there. And if you look at this website, it's also very clear who they serve. Very clear. It's none of these are crowded, cluttered, because they're very clear of their strategy. If you go to a website that is cluttered and crowded, that's because they don't know what to say, so they're trying to say everything, okay? If your website falls into that category, go and fix it up. If it's perfect, it's very clear who you serve and that value proposition is coming through a caption and a sub-caption, that's perfect. All right, patience is something I see business owners struggle with. Okay, that's normal because our emotions go like this. And sometimes people come and say, oh, in the first 2 or 3 months, oh, I'm not getting a result. You got to be able to go through this. 6 months really is, to create proper brand awareness takes years. So to do a Facebook campaign for brand awareness for 4 months, 3 months is really nothing. So if you are running a proper business and you're in the long term for business, then start advertising, right? And then start building a brand and then, if people say, but I don't want a brand, I just want leads. You can't just get leads, okay? Because you're in the mortgage broking business, that takes a lot of trust and there's a lot of competition in there. If you want just leads, you can run a lead generation campaign and you'll get lots of leads, but like I said before, they won't be of good quality, okay? Unfortunately, skills are super valuable. We discussed that, and the budget allocation is another thing I want to talk about. You got to work out based on your business, the region you're covering, and the stage of the campaign stage. The budgets will change, and you need to discuss and have adequate budgets. And that's a range I've given, and that will probably cover right. And if you're not, because otherwise people spend a lot more than that, don't do that as well. But the real cost is you got to have the right expertise to manage it. By the way, guys, if you want to get your strategy right in any of these areas, Jen will share a link. Go and talk to one of our specialists or myself. We will help you with that. This is one of the most valuable things you can do. All right, let's go through some of the key stuff to understand the platform. Let me keep a track of time as well. And I want to go through what you have to do at every stage, okay? But also what you should not do, we've discussed, right? If you throw money on less engaging visuals and ad copy, your ads will not be effective. You have to first identify which creatives work by testing images. I've said this earlier, but I'm repeating it because these are so crucial, okay? Different types of images, etc., that show your value proposition. You need to test them by having multiple images. We then go and add the money to the ones, the visuals and the creative that work, okay? It's never overnight success, right? It's about testing, looking at the data, reviewing and testing and testing. As I showed you earlier, when you go into the campaign, the first thing you do is you need to know what you're trying to do. So start here, awareness, traffic, engagement, leads. Don't try to go directly to leads and sales. Okay, so you guys can't go to sales directly, but don't go to leads directly. That's a mistake a lot of people do. Is I can't tell you how many people waste their money going directly to leads without doing any of this stuff. Better not advertise. Brand awareness campaign. Okay. Now, if you're doing that, okay, so the four things that we got to be really careful is professional ad campaign must have the professional ad design. I'll give you a design, multiple designs. We'll go through designs, strategic ad copy, professional ad setup. Now, we've discussed this, but professional ad setup is so important. And then the data, you've got to review and test based on the data. And then, of course, you've got to maintain your brand consistency throughout the ads. One ad can't, your ads, all your ads must deliver a similar branding so that anybody sees your ads anywhere, they know that's this company. This is the company that we are talking about. So here's, I showed you this website earlier, and Jen will share the link to that website. Go and have a look at that. So this is the brand awareness campaign. We're trying to deliver very simple messages. Future Growth Finance is about smart home loan solutions for professionals and entrepreneurs, okay? So that's really business owners and working professionals. So that look of the imagery is the right type of people in that age group and the demographic we're trying to target. So it's very clear, it's not busy, but we got to now write the copy and we've got to test multiple designs like this, okay? Because I might think this design is good, but when you look at the data might reveal something completely different. So we can't have just one design like this, but we've got to have multiple designs for this company, and then we've got to have multiple ad copies. I'll show you some examples as we go forward. Now, I did say, so you've got to start with awareness, then consideration is driving traffic to your website, okay? I'll talk about that, and then the lead generation. So we discussed the awareness, okay? So in this lead generation, I've shown you there are 3 ad designs here, right? Similarly for these, each of these will have 3, 4, sometimes 5, 6 ad designs. What are we doing? We are testing each of them by putting a little bit of money and seeing which is the one that takes off, and then we put the real money to the one that takes off. So in all the tests we ran, we've selected this and that. Now, what's a traffic campaign? A traffic campaign is a campaign where you're putting an ad, by the time you're driving a traffic campaign, that we're at consideration stage. So we know through the data, we've created enough awareness, okay? We've created enough awareness. Now is the time to drive traffic. Why are we driving traffic? We're driving the traffic to your website. The reason is when they come to your website, they have a lot more information about you to really build a relationship with your business. At the beginning, they just understand who you are and kind of what you do in a very summarized form. That's all they need to know. But when they want to know more detail, that's when you give. So this is like introducing yourself. When you meet somebody, you introduce yourself, and this is like going on a date with them. Okay, so you invite them and you go out and have a coffee or whatever, and you discuss more details, and you're able to, reveal a lot more information through your website as you would when you meet one-on-one. Okay. After that is when you ask for the order. And these are all lead generation ads that we do. And as you can see, every one of these have very similar branding, same colors, same imagery, very professionally designed. It doesn't look cluttered. It doesn't look cheap. Now, it doesn't mean that cheap looking ads don't work, because sometimes they do work, okay? But it's only the data will decide whether it's working or not. But primarily, you got to make sure your brand delivers credibility. So here's an awareness ad. Now here's an ad with some copy. I'll show you. That ad has different copy. So we knew this is the image that works, right? Now we're testing it with multiple. So see, look at that copy. It's much longer, right? And it has, little icons, and it kind of talks about different things. So you've got to give different. So you need to write this stuff in an inspiring way that people will take action. Okay. So professionally, doing it professionally is super valuable. So now this is a consideration ad. As you can see, the ad is different, different demographic here as well, because we are trying to test to see which demographics are working. And now here's ad copy is quite detailed. And here's another ad copy. Okay, so that's different. This is not specific. This is about refinance your home with us, as you can see. Okay. That's what I'm talking about here, the ad copy, by the way. Oops. And this one, oops, where was I? Sorry. Yeah. So here we say if you had your current home loan for more than 2 years, and we go on like that. And in this one, we start with refinance your home with us directly. So we're testing to see which is the one that's going to go. Now, these are lead generation ads. Now we're in the funnel. We've done the awareness and we've done the consideration. And in the metrics, it's telling us, hey, it's time now to move to the conversion ads. Okay, so now we move there. And now we are testing different copy, different designs, as you can see, trying to see which design is better. And based on that, we write different ad copy. Okay, we have telephone numbers here. So we're testing. Okay, so at the beginning, it's about testing and reviewing. And then based on the data, like we're looking to see in October to November, how many people are we reaching? So in this case, we're doing a brand awareness ad, and we've reached 72,000 people, right? And now we're moving into a traffic ad, and it's optimized for traffic. So we're not looking at brand awareness so much. We're looking for link clicks, okay? And how many people have clicked on and checked our websites. So it could be a landing page views or link clicks that you are checking at that stage. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's some way of doing checking your data. Now I'm going to play a little game. Not a game. I'm going to do something fun. This is not to do with this example. I'm just using a general example, but it's not to do with finance. But I just want to open your eyes to this. So anytime there is some the news, depending on the news, could be about budgets, it could be about inflation, it could be about something that's exciting. And it's about us looking for opportunities to see how we can, create an edge. And I'm going to show you in another industry how some people created an edge, okay? But I'm going to use, this is the fashion industry, but it's an example that is interesting. So we know there was a report that some time ago that the King and the Queen of England were of Australia as well, I guess, are coming to Australia in October. I don't think that's going to happen because we are in October and I haven't heard any news unless any of you have heard. But I'm using this for a reason. So the last time we had a royal visit, I think was when Harry and Meghan were fairly popular as they got married and they arrived on our shows. And that was a big event. I remember when they came and I actually went and they went to Dubbo and they went to all these places. And that day, the day they happened to be in Dubbo, I was running a big event in Dubbo. And I happened to be in Dubbo myself. And this is when they came to Dubbo. This image, I don't know whether this image was taken by one of our clients, okay? It may have not been because I can't remember, but I know one of our clients sent me an image that they had taken when I met them at that event. But these jeans Meghan is wearing were from this couple in Mount Tambourine in the Gold Coast where they ran a business. They were ethically sourced jeans made by Cambodian women rescued from human trafficking. Look at that story. Look at that story. Think about it, how creative. So this couple in Mount Tambourine got Meghan to wear these jeans. So you might wonder, how did that happen? How did they even find out? How did they even find out, right? How did the royals find out about this couple in Mount Tambourine? I don't know. I can guess, and I'm going to show you how, okay, through the Meta advertising platform. And here's another fashion design. Meghan's wearing this dress by Karen G, okay? Look what she's saying. I'm incredibly blessed that more people are finding out about this wonderful brand, right? And this woman says she's still in shock that she got Meghan to wear that dress. And the website described the dress as, and so this is obviously her website has meltdown. Here, look at this. Meghan Markle's decision to wear Australian designer's dress sparked website meltdown. So how did that happen? So I'm going to go in and I'm going to show you. I'm going to the Facebook Ads Manager. And I'm going to create an ad. So we want to create an awareness ad, okay? And I picked awareness and I'm going to continue. By the way, you may not be able to see what I'm doing, right? So I'll make it a bit bigger. Okay. So it'll ask me some questions. New awareness campaign, you can give it a name, right? It can be auction awareness details, create an A/B test. I'm not going to pick that. Budget type, auction, all that. Campaign objective is awareness, and I'm going to press next. Right. New awareness ad set. So the ad set name is that. I'm going to call it Royal ad set 1. Okay. So the performance goal is to maximize reach of ads. So if I click on that, I can maximize the number of impressions, but I want to maximize the reach. Okay. So there you go. Another thing you can do is to maximize ad recall lift, but I won't do that. Facebook pages, net stripes, cost per result. I can check more options and I can give that. Oh, I can give a budget. Okay, so I'm giving a daily budget of $5. Okay, and that's right. And I want the locations. I got Australia, but I want to show more options. No, I actually want another location. I want to say United United Kingdom. Oops, that wrong spelling. Can't spell. There you go, United Kingdom, United Kingdom. Not London, England. There you go, country. I got United Kingdom. So I got Australia and the United Kingdom. Okay, so there you go. I picked the United Kingdom and I also picked Australia. Minimum age is 18. Custom audiences, audience, advantage audience. Let's go here. Genders, detailed targeting. So I go click on that. And I'm going here. I'm going to go Buckingham Palace. There you go. So I click on Buckingham Palace. So anybody in the Buckingham Palace. Then I'm going here. I want journalist. Right. I'm going to pick all the journalists that are in UK and in Australia. Okay. So now then I can go and say Sky News. I can even go and get suggestions. Or I can go browse, demographics, work, and then I can go and pick employers. Okay. So now under employers, I can say Sky News. All right, there you go. So like this, I can go and do BBC. I can pick all types of, I can go Sydney Morning Herald. I can go and target all types of people. Okay. And now I got say I can keep adding. I think you get the message. I can keep adding to the audience and I can go next and then go and put my images, etc. I can create a single ad, or I can do a video, I can do a carousel ad, etc. And I go and publish. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are only limited by our imagination on how and what we can do on this platform. Unfortunately, it's a very complex platform. So, as a business owner, you don't need to go and manage it. That's not. And the purpose of this session is to show you how powerful it is, but you need to make sure you get a subject matter expert who's a specialist in these platforms to run your campaigns. But what you need to know is you need to know the campaign objectives. You need to know the strategy, who can help you with the strategy. You need to be able to control this. You have to be the business owner, not the worker running these campaigns. And you need to have enough knowledge, and that's what I covered. One of the biggest issues was knowledge. And today I wanted to cover the knowledge aspects of what a business owner, a mortgage broker, a commercial finance broker, a residential broker needs to know. And once you know this stuff, you can then get successful campaigns going. And in the strategy stage, it is crucial for you to work out, is my customer even on Instagram? Is my customer even on Facebook? Is this the right way to do? And what can I use this for? And those decisions can also be made. So let me go back to the presentation. So I only show this stuff to show you we are only limited by our imagination because it's a very powerful platform. However, we must be very good. We must have the knowledge to understand and discern what the platform can do for you and the process you need to follow and what it can't do for you. As I said earlier, we need to taper everything with a degree of patience. All right. So let's summarize very quickly. Okay. Business owners are struggling to get return on their marketing spend because the platform, surging complexity of platforms, that is a given, okay? And even agencies who are generalists, who have generalists using these platforms are not getting the results because they don't have the knowledge to see the telltale signs clearly, not just business owners, even some of the agencies, right? Because the best expertise is expensive and unavailable. However, right, the way we've done at NetStripes is we want to make the best expertise available and cost effective for our customers. So we've created a platform and a system to do that and to deliver that for SME business owners or broker, and in this case, mortgage brokers. So to summarize, professional campaign setup is crucial, okay? High quality copy is very, very important because it is this copy that your customers read and get, they feel inspired to work with you, they feel motivated to work with you, but also we need multiple ad sets to make sure we know, or ad creatives and ad sets as well, of course, to make sure that you get the right result. Because when we test it, the data will tell us which is the better creative to use. They need to be visually appealing, and then, as I said, test and iterate based on the data. So again, what does this mean? Professional campaign setup. Understand the status of your online brand. What is your current state of brand awareness? Are you a new brand, or you've been around for a while and there is brand awareness? Have you done Facebook campaigns before? If you have done brand awareness campaigns before, if your brand is better known, you don't have to spend as much time on brand awareness. As I mentioned earlier, if you're a new brand, you've got to spend more time. And we got to gauge based on the data, your audience trust levels. Again, that can be checked based on the data. Focus on taking the client through the funnel. I showed you a funnel, and in a very simple way, how we can take the customer through the funnel. We went through some creatives. Meticulously check the setup details and optimize for success, right? The audience, the budget, or the pixel tracking of data collection so that we can do what's called retarget ads, okay? So we can show, once your ads have been seen by a particular bunch of folk, we can retarget those ads. It's called, once we have some data, it's called first party data. That's your data, and using that, we can retarget ads, run retarget ads. We can even retarget to your email database. If you have an email database, Facebook will try to identify within that email database who is on Facebook and run ads that are focused on those people, but also not just them, but on what's called a lookalike audience as well, okay? Engaging and persuasive copy, we spoke about that. It's important to have people who are professional copywriters to write this stuff. You've got to make sure there are no mistakes. And because your brand has to be conveyed effectively, okay? And then if your brand is engaging, it'll ensure that you get better conversions. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending.